I mean, literally right now in California, we're at a very pivotal time in our lives. For our family's lives, our kids' lives, their kids' lives. And thank you all for being here. Again, the best part about being not a politician, but being a military guy running for office is that I get to meet people like you. And this touches my heart. And that's why we're here tonight. And thank you guys again.
You're welcome.
Mark, thank you so much for opening up your home. We have 2 weeks until the election. We've been running for this office for 15 months, and every single time I do something like this, or I'm invited to do something like this, I am again touched by people like you, who will come, who will show up, who will ask me questions, who will try to support this campaign. I'm so amazingly ingratiated for you guys being here and you guys having me here, especially for the Vietnamese community. My father flew in Vietnam twice, 2 years in Vietnam. I was at the time 13, 14, 15, I believe. I've been to Vietnam since then as an Air Force pilot, both to Saigon and Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City. I've flown there and seen the country. I understand the country. I'm a limited degree. But I'm running for you guys because I think it's time for us to understand that you guys deserve better. I mean, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you are,
Especially you outsider.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if you are an outsider with insider knowledge like me, I worked at the White House for 2 years with President Bill Clinton. If you're an outsider with insider knowledge, I think it's time for us to step up and serve California. I think if you're a parent right now, if you're a family member in California, we have two choices, right? We can stay and fight, or we can leave. And I choose to stay and fight. I choose to stay and fight. That's why I'm running for office. My family loves it here. My kids are happy here. They go to school in this state. My wife is from the state, Michigan. She's a native, and I just feel like we can do a much better job. And so I did 20 years in the Air Force and 16 years flying for Delta Airlines, and as a pilot, I did 20 years as an Air Force pilot, 16 for Delta. I worked at the White House for 2 years for President Bill Clinton. I carried the nuclear football for President Bill Clinton, so I had an office in the White House and a bedroom in the White House. I lived there for 2 years. I can tell you guys Clinton stories all night long. And I will.
All right, let's go.
If you like to. If you like to.
We have all
I can be here for the rest of the night.
Ladies gotta leave.
Seriously. I can tell you guys Clinton stories all night long. But the most important thing about that was being an Air Force pilot, military officer, living with the Clintons and working there for the 2 years. And I saw the many ways that I thought President Clinton, as our commander-in-chief, let us down in terms of our military, So when you go to the polls, if you haven't already, when you go to the polls this month until November 3rd, think about who you're voting for to be our commander-in-chief. Think about that, because that is the primary obligation of who we ever elect to be our commander-in-chief, our president, and our leader, the leader of the free world. And I can tell you, having worked for President Clinton and Mrs. Clinton, that was not a great time back in the 1990s. And we now have President Donald Trump. I like President Trump.
Woo!
Yeah! 4 more years.
I voted for President Trump, and I'll vote for him again.
Yes.
Yes.
4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years.
And so,
Turn it red.
so you know what it means?
Return to Red State, California.
Turn it red.
Turn red, yes.
So think about this. So you guys understand what it means to be an Air Force pilot and be in a formation and have a wingman? You know what the wingman do? They protect you. So if you're
It's like
it's like what? If you're going in combat and you're the lead airplane, you have guys and girls on your wings, right? The reason why they're there is to support you and protect you.
Right.
So President Trump needs wingmen.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
have T-shirts like this.
Yeah.
You want to be a Bill?
I
Bill-
Yeah.
We got a whole bunch. We'll bring a whole bunch in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm asking you to be my wingman and to help President Trump have
All the way.
wingman so that we can't go to war. We can't go to war as an Air Force pilot or a Navy pilot or Marine pilot or whatever.
I want to say this. There's people watching. There's about, 70 people that are watching. And someone says, outstanding Vietnamese American, patriotic, and hardworking members of our community. He had over 70 people watching.
So what we need, not only in this room right now with Vietnamese Americans, we need California 7, Sacramento, California,
Yep.
the U.S. Let's all step up and be wingmen. We've got T-shirts
There it is.
right there. We've got T-shirts. You know what? And that's what it means to be. Okay, I have flown in combat. I have been in combat. And I'll tell you what, that flying in combat and getting shot at with real bullets, it's not happy. But what you want is people like you, Mark.
We got free soda right here.
I got your 6.
So we want people, we want, when you're flying into combat, you have to have people on your wing that protect you. And we got to get on the wing of President Donald Trump and protect him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We got to get you there.
So we've got to turn Sacramento around. We've got to turn California around. So it's not easy. We are flying into a lot of headwinds in California. We can do this. I guarantee you we can do this. I promise you we can do this.
Each of us is your wingman, Buzz. We can. I reached out to a friend of mine up in Oregon who I know he's got a little money, and I said, look, I'm down here in enemy territory. I donated to some people. They've got 5 districts up there, or maybe 8 up there in Oregon. I donated $200 to Alice Scalatars, the guy that took somebody down on the train, prepare.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a really good chance of winning. That would be like flipping one of those.
There we
I
go.
pleaded to my buddy. I said, I did this for your guy up there in Oregon, even though. But can you send some money to Buzz? He sent $500 last
Wow.
week.
Wow. Buzz, say, yeah. Tell him thank you on Buzz's behalf.
Yes. Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Enemy territory, they can't do anything because they're so red or so blue. Ask them to help
They
Buzz
can
out.
still help us.
Yeah.
So here's the map. This is a great message. Thank you very much. This is a great message. I don't care where you live in the country. If you live in a district that's probably overly blue, you can't save it, or like voting on red. But you want to help President Trump get the House back,
Yes.
keep the Senate.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you live in Sacramento, right? It doesn't matter, because if you support us and get us elected, that gives President Trump one more seat in the Senate and the House. I don't care. Yes. So if you're in Florida or Georgia or Ohio, and you think that your vote doesn't count, your support counts. Because we got to get President Trump reelected, and we got to get President Trump the House majority back, so that we don't have 4 more years of the crap, of the impeachment, of the, it's just been no more Adam Schiffs, no more Nancy Pelosi's.
Or Maxine Waters. Or Ami
Ilhan
Barras.
Omar.
So let's give President Trump the House back. Let's put somebody that's actually
Do the
a
job.
Republican, and I'll take it.
Let's
I'll do
get
the-
Bud.
I'll do the
Let's
job.
get Bud.
I'll do the job. You put me in there, I'm all over it. But let's make sure we don't. For November 3rd, make sure you show up. Make sure you vote. Make sure that your vote counts. Make sure that here in California, if you're worried about dropping it off in a ballot box, or you're worried about putting it in the mail, don't put it in the mail. Don't put it in the ballot box. Go and vote directly. That's what I'm doing right here in this district. That's what I'm doing. So please get out and vote. Make sure your friends vote. Make sure your family votes. Make sure everybody you know votes. And if you're a Democrat, you can vote 3 or 4 times. So you can do
We're
that.
not gonna count it.
So anyway,
Outstanding.
guys, thanks so much.
If
And
anyone wants to come help this Saturday,
uh,
I would look all good.
Yeah, so we're planning right now. I had to confirm with my schedule, but we're planning on walking Citrus Heights. We've done Elk Grove for the past week. We have handed out close to 1,500 flyers in Elk Grove this week, and we've been knocking on doors.
Yep.
Okay, Mark and I have. So I'm speaking here. So Mark and I, we've been all over Elk Grove. So this Saturday we're going to be out in Citrus Heights.
That's
If
what
you
I
would,
found.
we're gonna Denise and I, Mark will be there. We're gonna send out a massive email. If you can help, if you would like to join us, go out to Citrus Heights from about 11 in the morning till about 2. We'll be out there. I have sheets of who our registered voters are. You can knock on the door. If you don't feel like knocking on the door, you can just leave the flyer here. What's been happening is if there's 4 voters and one person says I voted already, there's a good chance that maybe their wife or their brother haven't voted yet. Say I voted, but they didn't vote yet, and maybe they're undecided. That's what's happened. Some people have already voted. Sure. If you are like, look, hey, I'm too busy, I can't walk. We still need people to call. If you would like to call for us in phone bank and call voters, hey, have you voted yet? We can use that for you, and that's how you can make a difference.
plus, there's a Trump car rally on Saturday
Yes.
in Rockland going to Folsom. I'll be there speaking of that. Please.
Yeah.
I wanna go.
So we're gonna be 2-timing it. Well, if he does that, we'll still figure something out. There'll probably be the Trump rally. After that, we'll be walking. So we'll figure something out. And if you have any questions for Buzz, we'd love to hear.
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
2 questions. Well, one's a statement, the other's a question. If you don't want to vote, mail in your vote, or if you're afraid to drop it off, you can get a hold of Sac County GOP, and they'll send someone like me who's been registered. We will come and take your vote. We will do a chain of custody of evidence, and I will give you a receipt. We'll give you you can track it online. So
Yes.
that's another thing. My question is, what is your vision for District 7?
Oh my God,
Victory!
we need so much work. We
Yeah.
need so much work. If you're a small business owner, and in this district even is crushed by COVID-19, you see the homeless, right? Let's figure out how we get our small businesses back up and running. So I'm not worried about the Bevmos and the Costco's and the Walmarts. I'm worried about the mom and pop shops that have been shut down for 6 or 7 months now.
Absolutely.
Let's figure out how we help them, and I think that comes through.
No, 15.
No 115,
Absolutely.
tax breaks, regulation relief. If you've been, I think we can all agree in Sacramento, the last 8 months, if you are a business owner, you have been crushed.
Yep.
Let's figure out how we can out of this, right? And on Bear will talk about that. Secondly, I think we can all agree that homelessness is a serious issue. I mean, I can see it all over the district. And Gavin Newsom and Omni will not talk about how we fix homelessness. They will say it's an affordable housing crisis. No, it's not. It's not affordable housing. It's an addiction, PTSD, alcoholism. I mean, some people choose that lifestyle. I get it. Some people choose that lifestyle. I understand. But if you're watching what's going on around us, I mean, coming in tonight, and looking at the homeless camps, to me, is crushing. And I know that a lot of these people are fellow vets of mine who we sent over to Iraq and Afghanistan multiple times, and they come home with. So when you're a military guy and you go to combat, or girls, you go to combat, you come back. Sometimes your wounds are evident, they're visible, like you've lost an arm or a leg, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes you have PTSD. Sometimes you have addiction issues. Sometimes you have emotional issues. There's just that. When you get shot at in combat, I can tell you personally, when you get shot at in combat, things happen to your psyche. And we have to do a better job. And a lot of people that are on the streets right now, a lot of people, not all, but a lot, are coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan. And we sent them there, right? And now we have to be able to take care of them. So my thing with the small businesses, homelessness, we can do much better. And also, I mean, how many people here are parents who have school-age children? Parents with school-age kids?
Yeah, well,
Parents with school-age kids, right? Are you happy with how the Zoom thing is going?
No. Not gonna help anyway.
No. So I've got,
particularly in college, we're paying the same prices.
exactly. So my oldest, I have a daughter that's a senior in college at Cal. So we're paying $50,000 a year for her. We go to private school as a theater major, and she can't do theater. So, and now they're trying to do this thing where they're trying to do like auditions over Zoom. No, and we're still paying the same $50,000 we paid prior to that. Yep. And so somebody's getting off here. It's not our daughter. I've got two boys in high school that they both play basketballs, and their basketball season to date has been canceled. They do Zoom. They actually do Zoom PE sessions with their basketball.
What?
What they have to do, they do like 2 or 3 minutes of like push-ups, and they turn it off. That is not how it's supposed to be working, and that's not where our tax dollars are going, right?
Yeah.
So we're paying. You guys are all paying for this, right? So
Right.
our kids are going to public schools.
Not to mention the curriculum changing to be more liberal.
Well, and that's the third issue. They're being indoctrinated.
Yes.
And it's even easier to indoctrinate when your kids, and I will walk in on my kids' Zoom sessions and listen to what they're going through. But there are some teachers that do a great job with the Zoom thing, with the business learning, and there are some that don't do a damn thing. And I can walk in to hear what's going on, and I know that our tax dollars are not being well served. They're not. And my kids are not being well served. I think it should be up to the parents to decide how we educate our kids.
Absolutely.
Not Gavin Newsom and not California.
Rewriting the history books.
We can do homeschool.
Well, I'm a big homeschool guy. We homeschooled for a while. So I'm a big homeschool guy. I'm a big charter school guy. I'm a big private school guy. If you want to send your kids to public school or homeschool, that's our prerogative, not Gavin Newsom's prerogative.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So why are we paying millions of dollars? This is a President Trump thing too. Why are we paying so much money per family to send our kids to school that aren't even open yet?
Right.
Why don't we get the money
Yes.
and we decide how that money is spent for our children? I mean, to me, we can no longer allow teachers unions and local school boards to decide how we educate our kids.
Correct.
Done. And I think it's up to us to figure out as parents how we educate our children. It's not Gavin Newsom should do whatever Gavin Newsom wants to do, but it's up to Buzz Patterson
Or Nancy.
to educate Buzz Patterson.
Until we
Get her out.
re-elect them.
So, but so that's kind of, you know, my opponent, Ami Bear, you guys probably know him. He hasn't done anything in 8 years. He literally does not do it. Literally.
Wait, he even got in. He beat Dan Lundgren.
So yeah, so
Mark,
his
talk
first,
about Mark.
so
Talk about Charlie.
so his first one, so Lundgren was the guy for 3 terms.
Yep.
Right. And then Jerry Brown moved to the district.
Yep.
And so he cut out a little part of the district for Omni to be elected. So Lundgren was Doug Ossie for 3 terms. And Ossie said he was going to step down because of term limits. And then Dan Lundgren won for 3 terms. And then Barra ran 3 times.
Right.
And beat
3
Lundgren.
recounts.
But very close. And so then what happens is, so you're right. So Barra beat Lundgren after 3 terms, and then Lundgren ran against Ossie again, and then Scott Jones, right, and then a guy named Andrew Grant.
Yeah.
So Barra's been there for 8 years.
Yep.
The 3 previous, well, he beat Grant by 10%. Andrew's a nice guy, but he's not.
Yeah, he didn't push real hard. I'm a 20-year resident here, but
I've never heard of him.
will I challenge you in the debate?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you challenged
I
him.
been challenging
Crickets?
What happened to the,
0.
did the COVID? or-
Crickets.
No,
What's wrong with that?
because Omni doesn't debate. Omni doesn't lift his head out of the shell.
But I'm a doctor, Buzz, and
Exactly.
because I'm a doctor,
So
I know
Omni
everything.
does not.
That's
What Omni will do is he and I will exchange like Twitter comments, but Omni will never debate because Omni understands that if we go up on the stage, I'm
He did
congressional.
debate OC.
He's not.
He did debate OC.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it wasn't a real debate. So they did kind of a PBS across the table thing.
It was Grant.
So
He
he
debated.
did OC also.
Oh, he did OC. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't know OC.
So Omni doesn't do anything that draws him out of the shell.
He does whatever Nancy Pelosi
Yeah,
asks
tells
him to do.
Well, 100% of the time.
Yes.
100% of the time.
Yes, I know.
So if you want another Pelosi acolyte, vote for Barrett. If you don't, then vote for
Ami and Nancy Pelosi have voted together 100% of the time.
Barrett. Yes.
Raise your hand if you agree with your spouse 100% of the time. I didn't think so.
Well,
I don't know, Mark.
Next to my wife, so
My wife's not here.
Yeah.
I would have to too.
What happens when you marry above your station?
That's exactly right.
Remember,
Hey.
pass it on.
Hey, Buzz, I have a question for you because I know you and I were chatting about this. I know that Ami is proud of co-signing the Heroes Act. I know you were talking about how that had pork in it, and you had also mentioned that besides the Heroes Act, how businesses are before COVID and how they would continue to suffer once we're past COVID under Ami.
Well, this is like a fast story. So Omni doesn't do anything for small business. Omni doesn't do anything for small business. So he will never talk about it. He will never address it. Omni literally will vote for Pelosi and do what Pelosi says 100% of the time. 100% of the time. And I think we deserve better than in California.
Absolutely.
And I think that, whatever you do in this district, I think that you've got Ami, who's been there 8 years, and I'll ask this question: are you guys better off? Are you guys happier?
No.
Oh, too
Not
much
this
tax.
district.
He won't even answer phone calls.
The only good thing happened when Trump became president and started implementing his.
So, would you like a change?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can we change?
Yes, please.
So,
And I want to add this for Buzz, whether he likes it or not. When Buzz Patterson gets elected to Congress, I promise at least I will pick up the phone for Buzz and I will speak to you guys. Because I tried calling Ami today, nobody picked up the phone. So I will call and I will pass it on to Buzz.
So Ami hasn't been to work since March.
Right.
And on me, so I had a young man who was a UC Davis student call me a couple of months ago. He was an intern for Ami in his office here in the district. And he said he did it for 2 years and he never saw Ami in the office.
Wow.
Not a single day.
So you on vacation or what?
Can you imagine being a military guy? So I'm telling you, as a military guy, I can't imagine that. I'll be in the office every single day. I can't imagine not going by there or just swinging by and saying hi in 2 years. I just can't imagine that. And that's Ami. And Ami hasn't been to work in DC since March.
He doesn't need to go to work because he just does whatever Nancy tells him.
That's exactly right.
And did he
He
make
makes
his
his
vote by
170
proxy?
He did. So Ami makes $174K a year, and he's been in his hammock in Elk Grove since. It's true, right? It's true, right? Ami hangs out. Ami hangs out in his Elk Grove hammock in the community over here, and he has not been to work since March. So Ami gets to sleep and take a nap in his Elk Grove hammock. And as a military guy, I don't understand how it works. I'm going to go to work every single day.
Like Joe Biden.
So, but,
In the basement.
but you know, I actually think that Bear is worse than Bear. Bear is worse than Biden. He's worse. So, we need better.
Well, what we're gonna do is take what we're hearing tonight, take it from Buzz and go out and tell other people about this. Your next door neighbor, you can email, you can broadcast it on social media.
And ask them if they want a sign, because
Right.
that's free marketing.
Yep.
If you know neighbors that want a sign, let us know, and I'll deliver it.
Let's get some more big signs up, and I can pick up a bunch of signs from, you can pick them up from Buzz.
I have some in my car.
Right, and I've got some, but let's get them out there. There's too many
Yeah.
spare signs out there. We got
Here's something, here's something
Maybe
else.
just check this spare some out.
Yeah.
Churches are
Don't
great.
touch bears.
Any place that has a Trump sign will take Buzz's sign.
Yep.
They are totally into supporting our president, and they're totally into supporting Buzz, and also the churches. And you can
That's what I was just thinking, the churches.
There you can leave a lot of flyers, and people are so willing to learn and hear, and they want to change. They really want to change.
Yeah, guys, ask me.
Buzz also has bumper stickers. I got 4 on my car, one on the front, one on the back.
I have bumper stickers if you'd like some.
We have t-shirts out there.
Guys, thank you so very much. We've got t-shirts in the back also.
Yep.
Bumper stickers also. A few
And-
signs, right?
Yeah, we have signs, but also I wanted to say, because you know how you mentioned it doesn't matter where you at in the country you can support. We have Sheila Cahoon. She says, "Keep up the good fight, Buzz. I'm a fan from Georgia."
Here's a great point. So this election, this campaign, has been phenomenal. Meeting people, voting these. I mean,
And Mark.
And Mark, and you guys that have been walking around at YouTube.
I have a question.
Hang on one second.
If I raise my hand when Mark is, I know you're very busy, and it's only down to 13 days now. How can we expose you to more people between now and I know you said something got Saturday? Do you have a master website what's your activity for the next 14 days?
So here's a couple of things. We're going to be doing a couple of things. We're going to be walking precincts. If you are able to walk, let me know. If you have a neighborhood in the district and you say, "Hey, I want to walk my neighborhood," I will look up the voters in your neighborhood and send it to you if you would like to walk.
And we can do events.
Yes.
So if you guys have people who, I don't care what day, what time,
Okay.
I'm here. Okay.
If you have a group, like a church group,
13 days right now. Church groups are great.
I mean, so you're Bill, I mean,
Yes.
you have some commitments. Who's got the
me, just email me.
Okay.
Well, actually, he's okay.
And me too.
Well, email me because I know, because he gets calls from reporters all the time. So
Yeah, I get it.
so when I get the emails, I say, Buzz, look here, take a look at this, so it doesn't get lost. You know what I mean? That's so. I'll give you my contact information.
All right, I'll get it from Mark. He'll send.
Yeah, yeah, so guys, yeah, please, I mean, we
We
are,
done this months ago with you.
we're way open. So, I mean, we're doing like 3 or 4 things a day, and I'll do 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 things. I'm doing the BBC tomorrow night after the Trump debate. The BBC is asking me to be on and talk about the Trump debate.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Well,
That's really cool.
that's very cool. It doesn't affect you guys, which is not, so it's kind of counterproductive in terms of me, my time. But if the BBC calls me and says, hey, you want to come on after, it's like they're CNN, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're, it's like they're CNN saying,
We-
hey,
we can
you
ask
wanna
for
be
it.
on you want to be on a panel for 15 minutes? And yeah, sure. It's not,
Is that a Zoom?
Hey, but a lot of
it's
people
going to be
do
a Zoom
that.
Skype, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not, my priority is not doing that. My priority is doing this.
Oh, better.
Yeah. So I want to reach out to you people. I want to talk to you guys. I want to have me over, you know, seriously, we've got 13 days now. We're like this close. The polls are like this. Okay. And I'm a one-time, I'm a first-time guy. I'm gonna run again, just so you don't be concerned. If we lose, I'm running again. So.
Well, we're going to start working on your re-election campaign the day after.
November 4th.
Just that on the
Exactly right.
Yay.
That's exactly right. So hopefully, prayerfully,
Let's make it happen.
we're gonna win.
Yes, sir.
But on Wednesday morning, November 5th, or November 4th, we're doing this again.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Because I'm not, this is not a one-trick pony. Okay, I'm here for you guys, and I really want to serve.
You know, like a Zoom commercial. It was an old hairstyling thing. And they told 2 friends, and they told 2 friends, and so on, and so on, and the screen.
That's
gets
how
bigger
it
and bigger.
works.
That's what we gotta do from this group here.
Yes.
Go out tomorrow, tonight, send out emails to your friends and say, hey, you said a great thing. Something else happened.
If-
That's how it works.
If you have a group that would like to have us in the next week, we're plugging in events right now. We're trying to find a place where we can do a town hall style, where we can invite people from all over the community, wherever it's at. Let us know when we're filling in events over the next 2
Can I
weeks.
send you an email of the sample that I sent out to
Yeah.
people and then, you know,
Yeah, please spread the word. I mean,
what's the buzz?
what's the